Hi and welcome back. Today we're going to be building a candle holder. Oh, not another bloody candle holder, yes, but one that's a little bit different. Now, I built one of these, or made one, didn't take a lot, and it's a little bit different. And I've showed it to a couple of people, and I've never seen one like that before. I call it my egg cup candle holder, because it looks a bit like an egg cup. So you'll have to bear with me a little bit. You don't need a lot for this, you just need a little bit of doweling and a bit of old scrap. Now I have, as usual, a bit of old pallet wood. Now this is something I've already planed down to whatever thickness it is. Thickness, again, is irrelevant. You can make it whatever thickness you want. Doesn't matter. Excuse me. But the other things that you'll need, that I'm using anyway, is a Forstner bit, 38mm, and 2 hole saws. Now the 2 hole saws I'm using, and I've written the dimensions down, which is unusual for me, is 60mm, or 2 3/8 inches, and 76mm, which is 3 inches. So the first thing we need to do is find the centre of the board. And you don't need a lot of pallet wood for this. I've got one of these cheap budget things that'll do for marking the centre of the board. And we'll just get the pencil on it. And that gives me the centre. So first thing we're going to do is just pop an hole, or mark it there. Now we'll drill out the hole for that. It's for the candle, it's only for a tea light, so it doesn't need to be that deep. Better get some power on first. Line the centre up, hold the board, fire it up and drill it. And that's that. Next, we just need to swap the Forstner bit for a hole saw. So we'll do that. Bring it back when that's done. Right, so I've swapped it out. God, my head looks big in that. So now I've swapped the hole saw over, and I've put the 60mm piece in, and we're going to drill through where the centre of the Forstner bit goes. We're going to drill through, and we're going to drill all the way through, so we've got a nice circular piece coming out the bottom. Yes, the pilot bit's going to go all the way through, but that doesn't matter. We've put a bit of scrap underneath, just so we can drill all the way through, so we don't damage the main table, and I've clamped them both together with a clamp, so they don't move. So let's get that drilled out. That works well, doesn't it? And let's drill that out. Now what we need to do is you need to drill another one of them, and then using the 76mm or the 3-inch bit, drill another one. So I'll get that done, and then I'll show you what we go from that. Right, well, I've done that, and it's used up that much wood. That's all, less than 10 inches, or 25, or 250mm, 25 centimetres. Not a lot really. So I'll put that there. And then what you've ended up with is that one, the same size, got a bit of a burr on them, doesn't matter at the moment, and a slightly larger one. Now I'm using a 12mm dowel, so I've got a 12mm bit in there. So I'm going to drill all the way through all three. It's a little bit close for comfort there. Don't fancy holding my hands on it. A little bit of scrap wood there. So we'll get a clamp. So that I haven't got to put my dannies on it. Get that lined up. Nice and central. Give it a quick drill. Oh, all right through. Get it lined up again. That's got it all the way through. Let's get the other two done. Yeah, that's gone all the way through. And now we're doing this one, but yes, and we're going all the way through the middle of that as well. So we'll get that done, and then we'll come back to you. Right, so we're back at the old workbench, or if you prefer, the table saw with a bit of plywood on it. So we've got all three with the holes through. Then all we're going to do is give them a bit of a light sand, just to get the rough bits off top and bottom. Now that's just to get them flat, because we're going to glue them together. That was just a bit of old 180 that I had just knocking about. So I'll get down, I'll get glue, and I'll show you where we go from there. I don't know if that recorded because my camera's just gone off. I've just glued that bit on, the main bit, and then I'll put some glue on the bottom of this one and on the bottom of, on the inside of that one. So I'll push these together. And then we'll just push these on to where it wants to be, but it wants to be level with the inside. So get them in. Nice and level. And then you want to cut the clamps just to squeeze them out. Get them flat, squeeze them up, drop your glue. And we'll just leave that to dry. And then we'll come back and we'll clean it up. Well, we'll clean it up first, just get the glue off. And then after that, what we'll do is we'll get it sanded. And I'll show you how to do that. You don't need all the flash stuff. I've used the pillar drill. to do the drilling, you can do it with a hand drill. You can also do the sanding with a hand drill. I'm going to use the pillar drill, but I'll show you how to do that. I need to get this glove behind. Yeah! You recording again? I'm just cleaning up. You just automatically started recording. That's weird. Proper scary as well. And don't even worry about the burn marks, because we'll sand them off. Right, I'll bring it back when that's dried. Right, so here we are. Glue's had a couple of days to dry off, mainly because I've been busy, so that's what it looks like. Let's get the clamps off. Check it's nice and that's all nice. So now what we need to do, well, this dowel needs to be a bit shorter, but we're not cutting it off flush, not just yet. About an inch, inch and a half, yay much. That's what we're going to need. So get the old pull saw. And that'll do. Now, you're left with that. That's pretty much flush. We'll need a little bit of sanding, but not too much. So, let's get back to the next bit. Right, so we've chucked it up in the pillar drill. Now you can do this in a normal drill. Just like need to, probably not with a battery operated one like I use, but in a mains powered one, you can just put it onto speed, chuck it up in that, and then do the sanding this way. But I've got a pillar drill, so I'm going to use it. Now, the thing about it is, it's just sanding. So when I fire it up, you'll see that it's slightly out of skew width. Slightly out of skew width. What a fine term. So we're going to hit it with 40 grit, just to sort of like knock it back and get it all round. But you'll notice that it will be wobbling a little bit, but that's okay. So let's get it going. This is going to take a few minutes, so I'll bring you back when it's done. There you go. That's all sanded to 120 grit. Let's move on to the next stage, shall we? Right, so we've got the outside down to 120. Got the two inside bits to 120. Got a little bit of 120 on this, so we're just going to smooth off the inside of this. Doesn't take much. Just a few little twists. So the next thing to do is we need to cut the dowel off. So now you see why we left the dowel on, so that we can chuck it up. That's lovely. Back to the old pull saw. And we'll just cut this flush. Lovely. Scrap. Or something else. Whatever you choose to use it for. So next, we're just going to 120 at the top and 120 at the bottom. And then that'll be ready for finish. So I'll get that sanded, and then we'll come back and we'll finish it. So there it is, finished. Use Morel's light walnut stain on it, and it lights. Now some people argue that you can't put a tea light in some wood because it's dangerous. It's not. Tea lights come with a little tin cover to them, base and sides, so they're perfectly safe. I've used them in my house for years. My missus loves candles. All in all, actual work, not allowed for glue time drying, there's probably 20-25 minutes work there, because the sanding didn't take long. It never does. Knock it down with a 40 grit, 120 grit, top and bottom, bit of stain, and away you go. I think it looks really cute. Now it's not quite straight, but that's because I've just checked on my pillar drill and that's slightly out of level, but that's because the board that I put on it, one of them's come loose, so it needs tightening up. So that's why it's just a little bit leany, but otherwise it'll be fine. It's just to show you how you can do something just a little bit different. I've never seen these anywhere else, and to be fair, I don't know what I was thinking when I thought of it. But if you thought it was fun, click the subscribe button. If you liked it, that'd be nice if you clicked that. And if you'd like to leave a comment, I love random comments. Tell me your favourite colour stain. Tell me what you do for a living. Just comment. The most random comments I absolutely love. Anyway, this has been fun. I've enjoyed it. My name's Tim. Whatever you do, stay safe.